Good morning, Card Media's RJ, back with another video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. We have here a VHS tape. Okay, this is the story of the 1980 World Championship Phillies called Glory Days, narrated by Dallas Green, the manager of the team. It was issued for their 20th reunion, so this would have come out in 2000. Probably a giveaway at the stadium or something that was sold. Either way, it has many of the players on it, including Mike Schmidt. That's why I consider it a Mike Schmidt day. I want to take one moment now to talk about Phillies games because a couple things I noticed at the Phillies game. I went to the Phillies game with my daughter last night, which would have been Friday, a week ago today, for your viewing pleasure when you were looking at this. But so I went to Citizens Bank Park and found two interesting things. So one is shout out to Mike at the Hot Corner. Mike is mostly a TTMer, but as a big Phillies fan, Mike, if you're going to be going to the Phillies show, hit me up because I'm going to be there coming up in a couple weeks. But Mike always has, and he shows off these wild brands of beer cans that are like dedicated to Phillies things. And I'm always wondering. I'm not a big beer drinker. I never developed a good taste for beer. I just never developed the taste for it. But Mike always has great Phillies style beer cans, dedicated to Phillies. And I'm always wondering where he got those. And at the stadium, sure enough, I found there were a couple stands selling beer cans, beer in cans, with all these bizarre names that were dedicated to the Phillies. I mean, there was a Schwarber brand, like that. So I'm assuming that Mike gets all of those either at the stadium or through, he found out where those were being produced and he got them there. So that at least answers that question. I always wondered where he got those cool canned beers from, and I'm going to say it was mostly at the stadium because it was pretty cool to see him there. The other thing is when I went to the stadium, something that really kind of annoyed the hell out of me. I got to say this. I always go to if you saw Monday's video, I picked up the yearbook, and luckily you can pay with card these days because I don't usually carry cash ever, but you can pay with card now. Well, so I put my card in there, and what happens is it asks me if I want to tip the person. I'm going, wait a second. He's just a vendor selling me a yearbook, and now I'm supposed to tip him. And it's not that big a deal to me. I tipped him. I think it asked me if the lowest amount was like 10%, or you could have said none. But what do I care? I gave him a couple bucks tip. And I kind of asked the guy, really? You're asking me for a tip, really? And he goes, oh, no, it's the system they got. And they changed the system, and it asks that question. I just had to laugh. And then later on, I went to one of the food establishments, and same thing. I put my card in there. It kicked up a thing. Do you want a tip? This guy was a little more forceful. I said, really? You too? You want a tip? And he goes, hey, dude, we work hard here. He was kind of half joking, but he was serious. And again, I plug in the tip. I push the one button for a certain percentage tip, and he got his money. But I can't believe that all throughout Citizens Bank Park now the vendors are asking for tips if you use a card. I couldn't believe it. I'm sorry, but that's my rant. I apologize for that rant off in a tangent, but let's get back to the content today. So, my random baseball item of the day. I have here a card. Now, this one is a 1978 card of Rick Burleson. He was an All-Star the previous year, so he gets the All-Star Shield. And he has signed in blue, like a big pen, just your blue ballpoint. All right? It's not in a great condition card, but it's signed by Rick Burleson. Now, this is probably the oldest autograph I have, meaning it was one of the first autograph cards I got doing a TTM. Now, I do not TTM anymore. I always think about going back to it, but it's just not my passion anymore. But, you know, back in the mid 90s, I thought to myself, well, I got all these cards, let's send some in to get autographed. And I did that with a lot of people for a while. And the way I did it was I would find out on the minor league teams what former major league players were coaching in the minors. And I thought that was a really great way to send a card in to a person who had more time than the average major leaguer and would likely be more willing to sign. So Rick Burleson was coaching somewhere in the world back in the day, and I sent this to him, and this came back, and I did that for a year or two. TTM's got lots of them, but I just don't do it anymore. So that was my random baseball item today. Today's trivia question. Let me show you the prize. Fleer Platinum from 2002, the Decade of Dominance. I think it's just a subset. Yeah, it's card 251 out of the set. So it's just a subset of the main set. Barry Bonds, San Francisco Giants, Decade of Dominance. That's what your prize is. If you could answer this question, let's take a look on the back, see what it says. Bonds is one of 6 players to win 3 MVP awards in the same decade. Sporting News named Barry baseball's player of the decade for the 1990s, and it says he is also just one of 8 players in baseball history to win 3 or more MVP awards, capturing number 4 in 2001. Now, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, okay? Really, there's only one. Name for me, since Barry Bonds, at this time, back in 2001, when this card was printed, he had won 3 MVP awards, and only 6 other players won. He was one of 6, so there's only 5 other players before 2000 who won 3 MVP awards in the same decade. 5. Name me all 5 who did it before Barry Bonds. That's your question. If you get that answer, send me an answer. You'll be entered to win that prize on Sunday because, send me the email. Send me an email. My email will be in the description below along with the repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday, okay? So let's get to today's item. It's interesting. I was getting ready for this video. Took a break. Went down and chatted with the family for a while. Let them know I still existed. My time for filming is Saturday mornings. So I went down and chatted with the family for a while. And while I was down there, I was all set to film the video when I came back up. The doorbell rang, and I went out there, and it was the FedEx guy. He had a package, and it was a package for me. I had sent out some cards to PSA for grading through my card broker. I use a company called Nash Cards to submit to PSA. And look, we have the PSA return. There are 10 cards, and I'm going to go through them. I have not looked at the grades at all, so I don't know what I'm getting. But we'll look at it together. So here I have 5 cards. All right, I haven't looked at the grades yet. 5 cards from my Kmart 1982 box set. Again, if you remember, I am trying to get a complete PSA registered set of the 1982 Kmart box set. Now, I got off the bay as many 10s I could. I got about half the set off the bay. A lot of the other ones, I know there's a couple where the population of cards that were graded are like less than 10. So the reason I could never find it on eBay is because they're almost impossible to find. So I bought like a $1 set at a card shop. I tried to find one that was in really good condition. In fact, my LCS up here at one time had a box of about, 20 or so Kmart sets, and I would took the time to open up every one of them and see what how the cards looked, how was the centering on the cards, and I bought one. So I started sending it in. It was earlier this year. I sent in 5. I'm doing 5 at a time, and everyone came back either an 8. There was 4 8s and 1 7. So I was hoping for better than that, but it seems like every card's going to be an 8, unless I got a bad grade or something like that. So I haven't seen any of these yet. Let's look at them together. So I'm going to go from the higher number to the lower number. So this one is the last card in the set, card 44 of 44. It is a highlight of Pete Rose. So there are highlights of Pete Rose, Don Drysdale, and Hank Aaron to wrap out the set. So this is the Pete Rose. Let's do it this way. We will take a card, like a nice Roy Campanella. We'll hide the grade. Here he goes. That's what the card looks like. Kmart 20th anniversary Pete Rose. I mean, it looks like it looked to me like it was very centered. The corners looked sharp, but again, every card in the box is going to be cut the same because it was probably made from the same sheet. And every one I got last time was an 8, mostly an 8, 4 8s and 1 7. So I'm hoping for better than that. Maybe I got a better grader, but let's take a look. What is the grade on this card? Here we go. We got an 8. So again, it looks like the box I got, while I thought it was really, really good, is consistently going to be an 8. So every other card I have now for this thing here should be an 8. It just should be. We'll look. We'll take the time. We'll play the game. This is the Don Drysdale one. Highlights. I have the Hank Aaron one already in a 9. I might have it in a 10. I don't know. Can't remember at the moment. Here we go. What did we get on this one? A 9. All right. We got a little higher on it. This one came out a 9. I'm going to put that there for a second because I want to look back here. I have it over here behind me. The whole run. I'm trying to find out what the Aaron was. Yeah, so I was able to pick up the Aaron off the bay in a 10. So I now have, that was the first one that graded higher than that 8. So that gives me hope for some of the other ones, you know? So that's a PSA 9 on the Drysdale. Next one, Don Baylor. There were not a lot of, I don't know what the pop is, but it's really low. Not many people slabbed a Don Baylor. So let's see what we got. This is card number, this submission was some of the oddball names. Like, you know, they don't do the highlight cards too often, and there's little known players who are, this is all MVPs in the past. So Don Baylor is not your household name, although if you're a baseball fan, you know him. Let's see what Don Baylor got. There he is. His 79 tops was the image because he won the MVP in 79. So let's see what he got. We'll do it real quick again. What is the grade for Don Baylor? Boom. A 6. Ooh, that hurts. A 6. Again, it is what it is. I'm not going to waste my time trying to find. I'm not going to keep buying cards and sending it in to get them graded because, you know, it's not worth it. I'll look on the bay and try and find a better one later, but I only got a 6 on that. That's just wrong. Just wrong. All right, Jeff Burrows, another little-known player, certainly not a high-named, highly regarded MVP guy. 74 MVP, that's his 74 card. What did we get? There aren't a lot of Jeff Burrows out there. I'll have to take a look at the pop report, but there aren't a lot of them. That's why I had to submit it on my own. And we got an 8 on that. Okay, there you go. Still kind of bummed about that 6. That's just wrong. And then Denny McLain, you're a 68 MVP. I'm sure of that. Denny McLain, 68. Love the look of Denny McLain. That's just funny. The fact that people would wear those glasses and that crew cut look back in the 60s. All right, here we go. Last one from the Kmart set. I got 5 more modern cards to go through, but let's see what we got. 68 Denny McLain MVP. Kmart box set version. We're expecting an 8, but let's see what we get. Boom, 9. Well, that's pretty good though. Okay, so I got 2 9s. 2 9s, 2 8, and a 6. Ooh. So there you go. That is, let me put the Aaron aside because the Aaron I had. So here they are, 8, 9, 6. Ugh. 8, 9. That's my 5 Kmart PSA set registry cards. I think I only need about 9 more, maybe even less. So I'm going to wrap that up next year. That's, you know, I've met my goal this year. I'm not going to keep going. I have other things, other PSA set registries and other goals for this year that don't include the Kmart. So I'm going to keep going on those and let the Kmart sit until next year. So here we go. Some 5 more modern cards. So this is, I believe, a 1997 Sean Casey Bowman rookie, because this is his minor league stats. So it's a 1997 Sean Casey. Sean Casey, well-known broadcaster these days, had a decent career with the Reds, mostly with the Reds, but a couple other teams as well. I got to say, I know a guy now who swears him and Sean Casey are like good friends. I don't know how true that is, but, you know, I'll have to show him this card someday. Let's see what we got on this one. So I have no idea. It's black border card. That's the problem. So I don't think I'll get a 10. I mean, it's really well centered. You can see from the back. I don't think I'll get a 10 because of the black borders, but I would like to get a 9. Look at how fresh-faced he is. You can barely see in the corner. It says First Bowman from 1997, Sean Casey. Let's see what we got. Boom, a 7. Wow, even worse than I thought. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that card from a centering standpoint. There were no blemishes. There's nothing wrong. I don't know why I got a 7. But Sean Casey, First Bowman, a 7. All right, it is what it is, you know. Nothing we can do about it. Same set, 1997, Bowman, from Carlos Beltran, a future Hall of Famer, if he, you know, stays out of trouble, I suppose. Same set, so it's a black border card. Same thing, I was not expecting a 10 because of the black border. I was still expecting a 9, but after that, I'm expecting a 7 because, I mean, it looks exactly the same as the other one. I don't know why I got the low number, but here we go. Boom, a 6, even worse. Even worse, I have no idea. I have no idea why they're so low. Maybe some of the black is, you know, if you take a look at that corner, is it possible there's some little too much white showing on that one, but ow. Yeah, that's the problem when you grade these Bowman black border cards, even the Topps black border cards, you get them graded and the littlest skimp on the corners will kill you. Here's a fun one. This is from I think it's from last year, actually. Yeah, 2022. This is the Topps Archives, Jeremy Pena rookie card. He was an MVP of the World Series last year. So I thought this was really good. This should be at least a 9, if not higher, if not a 10. It's the Topps Archives rookie card of Jeremy Pena. There you go. This should be at least, you know, maybe just slightly it's off left to right. But it was in good shape. If it doesn't get at least a 9, I'll be pissed. Here we go. A 10. Perfect 10. Nice. Gem Mint 10. Jeremy Pena. Topps Archives rookie card. That's pretty. I like that a lot. Let's see what that's going for on the bay. PSA 10. Topps Archives. Jeremy Pena. Rookie card. Gem Mint 10. Nice. All right, some other really cool ones. I think this is Topps Gallery. Topps Gallery Julio Rodriguez rookie card from last year. Nope, it's Bowman Platinum. That's what it was. Really nice shiny shine on the Bowman Platinum. They weren't going for that much raw. I'm hoping if I got a really cool PSA 10 hit, it might make this worth the funding of PSA. So I like the look on this card. Really cool shine, really cool coloring. Let's see what we get from PSA on the Julio Rodriguez Bowman Platinum rookie. Boom, 6. Oh, that's almost worthless. A 6? How in the world do you get a 6 out of that? Oh my word. How do you get a 6? There's nothing wrong with this card. A 6? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. A 6. This one I don't care too much about as far as the grade is concerned. It was just a really cool card and I wanted to put it in the slab. This is the Phillies team card from this year, but it's the rainbow foil version. So I don't care too much about the grade. I just wanted to get this card slab because I think it's a cool look. So let's see what we got on this Phillies team card from this year to 2023. And it's the rainbow foil version. Can we do it? Let's still do it that way. We'll still do it reveal. But there it is. Take a look at that. That's just a rainbow foil. Really cool look. The World Series. This is when when they won the National League. Yeah, they're the National League champs. Great team photo. I love this image. and I thought I really got to get it slabbed. So I did, and let's see what we get. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to get rid of it. Boom, 10. That's still good. How is this a 10, but the Julio isn't? All right, so this made it worth it. Two really good cards in 10. So I got the Phillies team card in a 10 and the Pena rookie in a 10. So I guess you could say that made up for it in my mind, but I think some of the other ones are just ridiculous. A 6. Oh, a 6. The 6s killed me. Both time I got a 6, it just hurt. It hurt to get a 6 on a card that looks dang good. It just hurts. But these two are pretty. I'm very happy with them. I'm really ecstatic about this guy. I just think it looks really, really cool. Thrilled about that. I'll have to see what this one will fetch on the bay. Don't know if I'll keep it, but it's good to have at the moment. So there you go. That is the extent of my grading from PSA return. If you remember last week, I said I was going to probably send in a set of about 15 cards to get graded now. I'm going to send in a lot of old Topps cards that I have in my Hall of Fame collection. The reason I say it like that is because they are never going to get anywhere near a 5 even. They're all old cards, $5 common cards. I mean common because they're like in the $5 bin, because the corners are worn, the edges are worn. Some of them aren't even centered properly, but they're Hall of Famers. So in today's market, I figured if you're going to have a Hall of Famer from the 60s and 70s, you know, you might as well get it slabbed, just so it has some value, even if it's a 1, but it's in a PSA holder and a Hall of Famer, it has a little bit more value than if it wasn't slabbed. So it's almost worth it to get a card that's, you know, a Hall of Famer, but in really bad condition. It's almost worth it to get it slabbed just so it creates some value, I think. So anyway, I will I'll post that before I send it out. You know, maybe I'll do that for a video for next week, and we'll track how long it takes from post office to return this time. This one took, it was a lot quicker than I'm used to with PSA. I think they got their act together finally after so many years, but they're kicking it. So, all right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please consider like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community, all right? Appreciate you watching. Come back on Sunday for the trivia recap. Take care.